Good morning to everyone. Image Graphics welcomes you all to Image Graphics Wednesday webinar. So I take this opportunity to thank you everyone who has already logged in to this webinar session to listen to our webinar on CADWorx ISOGEN, how to bring process data into isometric drawing. Before starting with this webinar session and going on, I would like to give a couple of instructions regarding the webinar session. That is, this webinar is recorded for your future use. And second thing is, in case if you have any questions, you have two ways to ask the questions to us. Either you can raise your hand symbol in your webinar interface, or even you can use the chat option for chatting type your questions in that. Fine. Now myself, Visakan, working as manager technical with Image Graphics Engineering Services. Now in this, here I'm going to explain you with the how to use a particular tool in CADWorx, and the agenda for that is I'm going to start with the introduction of the topic which you're going to discuss. Following that, creating the required files in Isogen for placing the attributes, then procedure to link the created files with Isogen, following to that, placing the attributes in the isometric drawing template. That is our output which we are going to get in that. Now, introduction. This webinar will provide you an overview of how to customize the Isogen settings to bring the process data such as pipeline properties, or maybe the your design temperature, design pressure, and the other things which you want in your template. Your isometric drawing template will automatically shows this data whenever you are generating the isometric by using a specific style. The output, once we complete this webinar, we will get this such output which is showing the image below. The attributes are placed in their respective positions in the isometric with the table and titles, which is drawn previously in the backing sheet. That is nothing but your template, okay, which can be made by using AutoCAD. So here each and every customers or the companies, they will have their own template as the format for getting the isometric whenever you're going for submitting to the customer. So in that template you can make a tabular column, and also in the image which is showing here as which is named as piping spec or operating temperature, operating pressure, design temperature, and so on. Like that you can make the template, and this piping spec, operating temperature, operating pressure are all the pre-entered values by using the normal text command, where you can type those things and keep it ready according to your requirement here. Now, required files. If I want to get this output, okay, what should I do? Preliminary, as I said earlier in the previous slide, first what you need to do is make your drawing template. In the drawing template, you make the tabular column of that thing, the properties whichever is required. So type all those properties, and maybe the sequence, what sequence you want. In that sequence you can type it and keep it ready for using that, or to get the output in your isometric. Now basically if you see in this, there are 4 important files which are involved in this process to get the pipeline attributes as the output in our isometric drawing. The first two which is showing above, that is the pipeline attribute file, which has the file name as pipe_at.att.txt, and the other file is function-definition file, which is the file name is at_fdf.fileformat.ftf. Okay, so these two files are very important because these two are the user-defined files. Based on our requirement, we are going to create those two files, or we are going to define those two files, and with the reference of these two files, the other two which is mentioned below, that is the file name as final-fab.pos and final-fab.ddf. These files will be created automatically. So now we have to more concentrate on these two files, that is the pipeline attribute file and also the function definition file. And our pipeline attribute file, which resembles like this. Now this can be created by using our normal notepad. Okay, so you can open a notepad where you can define actually this is a syntax. The first line which is showing on the top, that is one, that is line space reference comma 2 operating space temp comma, like that you can define the properties which you want as the outcome in your template. Okay, so now in this case, now I have shown totally 5 properties, that is the line reference, operating temperature, following that operating pressure, then design temperature and design pressure. And further, if you want, maybe let's say material or maybe insulation, so like that you can put comma, then make the number as 6. Now 5 is already there, 6, then give material, comma, 7 give insulation, and so on you can do it. And also the another important thing is here, the line number. Okay, now whatever the pipes which you are making using our CADWorx plant, for all the line numbers for which you require the output, like your design temperature, operating temperature, or design pressure or operating pressure. So those details has to be given as a input here in this file. Okay, now in this you see this first up to this comma, that is 250-3_mm-01, that is my line reference number. Okay, or we can call that as our maybe our tag. Comma, the 120 centigrade, that is C, that I have given as a operating temperature, and following that 15 bar I have given as a operating pressure. Then 150 centigrade is the design temperature, and following our design pressure, which is 18 bar. That is for my first line. And similarly the second line, and so on the third line. Like this, here I can give up to 100 entries. Okay, now I have, for example, I have shown here 3, but you can go up to 100. And similarly in the row wise, now you can take the number of characters as 250 characters as the maximum width in the rows, in a row here. Okay, so this we need to follow while going for making the pipe attribute file. Fine. Now we have made the pipe attribute file. The question is here, now where should we place this pipe attribute file? Yes, I'll come to that question. I will answer that question in the coming slides. Now once this file is created, following that we are going for the next file, which is the function definition file. Okay, this function definition file, again this we need to define again in a notepad, where you have to follow the same syntax, which is definition as function hyphen definition hyphen file. Below that pipeline hyphen attribute hyphen file, like that you have to define. And then you see the numbers starting like 900, then 901, 902, and 3, 4, and so on. Now here in this, if you see this, I'm in the previous slide here. Now all these lines whatever I had defined, okay, or maybe the things that is 250-300, 200, and so on. Okay, these records can be entered in the range of 900 to 999. Okay, so this is the value which we have in the pipeline attribute entry. Now by following that, here I can use the numbers as from 900 up to 999. That is the one what I said is 100 entries. Okay, and once if you enter this hyphen 900 space, that is going to be my first entry, or maybe the first property which I require, space, exclamation, space, line reference. And similarly 901, I have the operating temperature, 902 is operating pressure. So now this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is a sequence number for us to identify that easily. Okay, and similarly the attribute identification text, you can see that what I have entered in that. And this is the positioning text file. Okay, so here we are not going to manually give any input here because this file will be automatically generated, okay, on its by CADWorx on its own. Now here the isogen record, you see, it has the value from 900 to 999, that is 999, which is for our attributes 100 to 199, which we are going to map to our isogen attributes. Okay, that is 100 for 900 and 101 for 901 and 102 for 902, vice versa, and similarly 199 is for 999. Okay, and similarly, if you see the PCF name, the attributes 100 to attribute 199, which is, for example, as I said, the attribute 101 maps to isogen attributes 901. So in the same sequence, 102, 902, so like that we have to take it further. And similarly, the heat or NDA attributes extracted from the files, that is 156 and 157 files here. Now, for example, now in my template, you see the first one in this rectangle what I am showing, this is the output which I am looking for here, that is the piping spec, operating temperature, and similarly operating pressure, design temperature, design pressure, and so on, and which I had numbered as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Now also below you see this is the attributes tab which we have in our icon here, where the attribute 101, okay, so which is numbered as 2 because piping spec is the first one, so which is numbered as 1 here, and similarly attribute 101 is the number 2 for assigned for 901, and similarly attribute 102 which is number 3 for 902, and similarly for attribute 103 for 903, and so on. So like the same, you can go up to 100 entries, so which will take you up to 199, which is equivalent to 999 pipeline attributes here. Okay, so this is how we have to define that. Anyway, which I'm going to show that in the, on the screen for you while working on the software. Now, another thing is input files. Okay, so input files is the one which is very important because now we have defined the files, okay, like our pipeline attribute file or maybe the our function definition file which we have defined, and these files has to be mapped or to be linked to our iConfigure, stating that this is the file and this is the format which I want to follow. In our input file, here we are defining that pipeline attribute is the path which we want, and also we have to give this as full reference because I'm taking the entire thing from 900 to 999, whichever is available. So full reference space hyphen 900, which we need to define in that particular location. And this is how our input file looks like, okay, where we have the text ID number, and following that the X position and Y position, character width, and also the character height here. Now in this, the X and Y position is nothing but your attribute location on your template. Okay, in what ordinate of X you want and what ordinate of Y you want, so that you have to define in that. Okay, and similarly character width, how much you want. Now here now this zero spacing is the one which is keeping that as a default, and then we have this 450, that is 4.5, which we have taken as the multiples of 10 here. So which is 450 is our character width, okay, which I'm going to give that, which is nothing but our text height, we can say. And then we have the other values for our what is the font you want to use, and similarly what is the color of text you want to use. Like that you have this, which I have not defined any value, which is showing as a 000 here, right? So now I have defined all this like 6, 8, 9, 10, like that I have given the sequence. Now you see in between the 902, 901, 903, that is the one which we are going to take it here because 901 is linked with our 101, and similarly 902 is linked with our 102. Following that, the other two files, okay, one is the pipeline attribute file and the other one is the function definition file. I told you this file can be created by using the normal notepad, but here question is, where should I keep these files? Okay, my pipeline attribute as well as my function definition, where should I keep these files? It's very simple. With these files, we are going to keep in the location or maybe the style. For example, if you are going to use your check as the style under your isometric folder what you have created, or maybe if you want to use the final fab, so under that folder you have to keep the pipe attribute and also the function definition files. Okay, now again here in this input files I'm going for defining these two files by defining the type like pipeline attribute and function definition, and browse this file and locate this is the file which I want to use over here. But one important condition regarding this function definition file is in which sequence you want. Okay, for example, if 901, 902, 903, 901 is assigned for spec and 902 is assigned for your design pressure and 903 is defined for your design temperature. So if that is the case, in your function definition also the same sequence has to be followed with the numbers. Okay, so now this is the things which we have, the procedure which you need to follow here. Okay, now with this, let me try to take you to the software to show the thing like, okay. Now this is the model which I'm going to use for this particular presentation. It's a very simple model where I have two pipes. Okay, now if I go for my line view, I have my pipe numbers which is displayed. Okay, so which is the number 01 is one pipe and 02 and 03. Okay, these are the three pipes which I am going to use in this. Also, if I go to my style folder. Okay, as I told you, this is the pipeline attribute and as well as our function definition file which I'm going to use. And before going over there, I would like to show you how the file looks like. I can open a normal notepad and here in this keep this as the syntax format and then go for type your line numbers. Okay, remember the line number what you have mentioned for your pipe, the same thing has to be defined over here. Even a small change in that hyphen or underscore will also affect the output. You will not get the proper output of it. You have to define the proper line number, and following that you have to define what is the next is the operating temperature. The second item in that column is operating temperature, so which is the 120 degrees centigrade, and similarly third one is for your operating pressure which is the 15 bar, and similarly your design temperature for 150 centigrade, and similarly the design pressure. Now in this also we have the function definition file. Under this function definition file, this is the one I told you that okay, the 900 is for our line reference, and similarly 901 is for operating temperature, and 902, 3 and 4. So here I have defined the sequence and which order I want that to be placed. Okay, which order you have defined, the same order has to be defined in your template also, which I will be showing that to you how to do it. Fine. And also for you, these two files anyway we are not going to do anything in this. Okay, so now just see this DDF file where all the values are taken on its own from the input what I have given, and this full reference, this is the one which I had given as the input, which you need to say that you have to go through the entire file while going for taking the output. And similarly the POS file, okay, so this is the one which I have shown in the PowerPoint, and again here we are not going to edit anything. Okay, even if you type or enter any values which will not reflect anywhere in your screen. Now this ISO is my folder, okay, and I have my styles, this check and final fab and all these things available. Okay, now under this final fab I have my template A2 fab which is available, and under the template I'm going to place the text here. Okay, so first let me go to my icon figure which I have already kept open for you for ready use. So go to icon figure and click on final fab and then go to edit. So once if you click on edit, and this particular thing is quite familiar to all of you. Okay, the first and most thing what you have to do is first go to your drawing setup tool to see how your template is available there. Now in the template, first let me zoom to this and see. Here you see the piping spec, operating temperature, operating pressure, and design temperature, design pressure. This already I have entered that in my template, okay, which I have created by using AutoCAD. That is, now for example, in your company template, you can go for enter this thing by using the normal text command and keep it. And this is the area where we are going to fill in. Now in that, I'm going for my attributes, and under the attributes, you see here, zoom to this one. See this piping spec and operating temperature and all, and next to that you can see some square boxes. So these square boxes are nothing but your attribute definitions. Now for this, I have given this as a pipe spec. Once if you click on this, at once you will get your pipe spec in the below attributes, where you can go for define your X value and Y value. For example, this 327, let's say, to show that if I make this as a 340, you can see this is relocating, right? So like this, you can go for enter your X and Y value to place your attributes in line in the same arrangement across the column. And also I'm going for defining my text height, okay, based on your the sheet size what you are using. You can define your text size and what font you want to use. You have the entire range of font list, and that you can choose from here, but here I have not defined the font because the FAF file, there is a font information file is already I linked here. And also the barcode and justification, how you want, then layer. I told you know that all the other rest of the zeros which is showing in your POS file, okay, all these are the ones which is here, which I have not defined. Suppose if you want a color, you can go for type the color number here. Suppose if it is 1, that is for red, which we know that. So now I have given this as a pipe spec 1 here. And next to that, going for the operating temperature. Now once if I click on the operating temperature, which I have predefined here, which is for attribute 101. Once if I click on this, at once you see the attribute 101 comes here. Suppose you don't want this as attribute 101. In such case, you can scroll through this and you can choose that. Okay, so which attribute you want to define here. Okay, now you can see the attribute maximum of 199 is the last one which is available. So you can go up to 100 entries like this. Okay, now I have taken this as attribute 101 for this, and for that also I have entered my X, Y and value and as well the text height. And same way I can go for 102 and 103 and 104 and so on for defining our values. Okay, once this is defined, then I can go for click OK to complete this. And after that, I'm going for, okay, so if record, let me save this, but already here I have saved this. So I'm going for one more because I have to define the input files. So going to my input file in this. Now, in the input file, here we have the input file summary, where as I told you, the font information file which is already defined, and this font information file is available in your CADWorx folder under that planned isogen iconfigure core components data. Under that we have the font FAF file that you can define that, but most of the cases it will be predefined in that. Next, our important thing is the attribute and also the function definition file. So I'm going for click on this. Now as I told you, now under my the isometric folder, here I have my final fab style, and here I have my pipe attribute text. So click on this file and say open. As a next, I'm going for, okay, assume that this is blank. Okay, I don't have anything in this. Now I want to define the function definition file. So just click on F to go to that thing. Now it's showing the font information because it's already defined, which I don't require here. So go for function definition file and click on this and locate your FDF file, and then you can go for open it. Okay, so now this setting is also done. So we have defined both the files, the attribute pipeline attribute file as well as the function definition file. Once this is done, as a next, I'm coming to the pipeline attributes, where I have to say, first you need to enable this. Okay, this is my pipeline attribute. Then we are going for the path, locate this, and again define the pipeline attribute file, because from here this is the one which is going to read your pipeline attribute, and also here it's going to read the entire thing. Okay, this format. This is like a syntax. You have to follow only this format here, where you're going for typing this as full hyphen reference with a space and hyphen 900. Okay, so this you have to type it over here. Maybe let's say I'm typing this full hyphen reference space hyphen 900. Okay, so this you are typing it over here. Then take this. Now this part is also done. Okay, so now after that I'm going for click on save to save this and as well exit out of this. Okay, and as usual what you need to do is you have to go for export to get your FLS file updated for your isometric. And once this is done, I am coming to my isometric and choose our style. Okay, which style you want to use, choose on the style. Okay, so now my isometric is getting open here. Now this C ISO is the one, the folder which I have my styles. Now click on the final fab and click OK. Now I have the line numbers defined, so I'm going for this line number with the list, and let me choose this numbers, this 101, and click OK. So at once you will get your isometric file generated with the properties like this. Wow. Okay, so here I have my piping spec. So what spec I have used for that pipe, and as well the operating temperature, and as well the operating pressure, and design temperature and design pressure. So this is the one which I have entered for that particular specific pipe tag information, or maybe the line number. Okay, so like the same, whatever the pipes you are going for generating your isometric, you will get the properties like the one what you have defined on your screen, so which is readily available. I know most of you might have struggled much for this particular output, where you are going for generating this isometric separately, and after that it's like a data entry work what you are doing, opening each and every file and type the inputs whatever is required, even 0 or 1 which misplaces or added additionally, which cause big loss. So now in this case here, we don't have to worry about on entering this drawing, because you are going to give the input only in your notepad. Okay, so at that time you have to give your input properly and clearly, and once that is done, then all your lines are going to come with the proper data or details for your properties. Okay, so now along with this, based on your style of thing what you are choosing, you are going to get your material list as well for your pipes. Okay, and now here we go, it is ready to use. Okay, so now as a summary here, now first what we did is we defined the attributes in our template, that means in our drawing, and as a next the required files for placing the attributes. So these are the required files, that is where we are creating that. One is the pipeline attribute file, pipeat_.txt, and as well the attribute, that is the function definition file. These two files has to be created. And next one is the defining the input files path, okay, where we are going for your icon figure, and under the icon figure the specific style under which you are going, edit, and then you're going for your input files. Under the input files you're going for defining 3 files here basically, because now we have taken one, this one is our font information file, and next one is our pipeline attribute file, and the third one is our function definition file. So choose the desired function for pipeline attribute file. Choose the pipeline attribute as your thing. Then define your locate the file where it is available. That is pipe_add.txt, and as well the same you are going to do that for your function definition file as well. Okay. Now once the input file paths are defined, then as a next you are going for getting the attributes on the isogen output file here. Okay, so the simple 4 steps you are going to follow here to get your output on your template. Okay, so I'm sure most of you for most of you, this is the first experience of learning this or knowing about this particular feature, which is available in CADWorx ISOGEN. Okay, which is a wonderful feature here. We from Image Graphics always choosing such a kind of topics, and we are helping you to improve your productivity, okay, every Wednesday through our Wednesday webinar. I hope you might have enjoyed this and also got some good information about this. Now I welcome questions from your end. Hello. So now here from Arif Batan, there is one question: why we have to prepare text file? Because the TXT file is the one which is supported here. So this TXT files we have to define for two files. One is for our attribute file and the other one is for our so what is that function definition file. These two files you need to define here. Okay, and also again from Arif Patan, is it possible to get this data from 3D? So Mr. Arif, now 3D, can you a bit elaborate it, please? I'm unmuting yourself. Mr. Arif? Hello? So I hope he's not available or busy. So next one is from Mr. Hemant. I'd like to know whatever process attributes we added will get exported to IDF file or not. Okay, so now here in this case, the one whatever we are typing, I mean the process attributes whatever you are typing here. Okay, so that you have to type it over here in our so what is that pipeline attribute file to get the output. Okay, so now the IDF file what you are asking is Mr. Hemant. Hello, Mr. Hemant.
Hello.
Yeah, can you hear? Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, Mr. Hemant. Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
So now you.
Yeah. The output I'm asking for the IDF file.
Okay.
Whatever the attribute, because after the IDF output, we are using this IDF file in the third-party software.
Okay.
For spooling and all.
Okay.
So we can get the attribute available for that or not.
Attribute available here. Here in this case, we are using only as a TXT file. Okay, but in the third-party software, the third-party
information we added.
Okay.
The process data that 300 pound and the temperature,
correct,
and temperature, that all the information. It will be available in IDF
file. Here in CADWorx you're asking about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So here it will be available only as a text file.
IDF or PCF file. There are two files now. Now I think it is PCF file.
PCF file. Yeah, PCF file you can do it. Because by using the PCF
so it will be when we generate the isometric,
yeah,
right?
Yeah. So I
create the DWBI file as well as in background is generate the PCF.
PCF. File. Yeah, you can if in case PCF is supported, you can use a PCF file very much here.
Yeah, we can use it, but I just my question is that whatever the attribute is coming,
yeah,
that will available under the PCF file or not?
Yeah,
IDF
information. Yeah, PCF file the information will be there.
Okay.
That okay.
Is, my query.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. So this IDF, this one the spool gen for which you are using the IDF, right?
Yes.
Okay. So now here this ISOGEN will support only the PCF file, and this PCF you can take it there into your thing. Okay.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. The second question is that I created a text file.
Okay.
And I'm as you said that we have to define the pipeline number.
Okay.
Right. This is your ID that match for getting the data.
Correct.
Into the isometric.
Yeah.
If I create the one new line, new line ID in the design software.
Okay.
I start making new, and that line ID is not exist in the text file. And if I creating the isometric, it will generate the isometric or it will give me the error?
No, it will generate the isometric, but the output on your template will not come.
Yeah, okay. But
Okay,
it will generate the
yeah,
isometric.
drawing will
So
be
the
generated. Your
output will be the empty, right?
Exactly correct. Okay.
Okay, so
Yeah.
it will be not given me error because of the attribute
No.
information is not missing.
Your drawing will come as it is, but only your output on your template
Yeah.
will not be shown properly. That is the thing. Okay. Right.
Okay, fine.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
And also here, one Mr. Ahmed, where I can find the what is it? Introduction PDF. Mr. Ahmed, I'm not sure about your question. Where I can find the Ahmed Halal. Hello, Mr. Ahmed. Yeah, I hope you want to know the help file, correct? So this help file normally whenever you press F1, okay, so now you can get the help file for that, or even if you go to your CADWorx folder, under the specific, see, one good thing with the CADWorx is if you want the help file for your paint ID or maybe plant or isogen, you can find your help file, that PDF, okay, in the respective folder itself. And mostly it will be available under the folder called documentation, okay, where you can find those things. Okay, and fine. So now, and also one Mr. Nurdin, Kotwala, I have a query related to inch dia. Nurdin. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, Mr. Nurdin.
Yeah, as an attribute, can we take out the inch die and inch meter from the lines
Yeah,
of the isometrics directly?
you want that as one of the attribute you want to generate?
Yes, means because it's tricky because we have to calculate means from the joints. So it can come directly as an attribute.
No, if you want the inch dia and things, then you have to get this, do this through your spool drawing, in fact. Okay, now if you're going for
Right.
using your check or maybe the, your final fab, okay, so instead of that you can go for your spool style, and under that you can get your this details of the inch layer. Okay.
Okay, and other things.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, right. Thank you. Yeah. So any other questions? So I hope this will be very useful for your the coming day-to-day work. Okay, so which will increase the productivity of your business. So, and also from V Image Graphics, we are happy to always serve you with good support. In all means. Related to your ICAS software, either it is going to be CADWorx or Caesar or PWLite or Tank or even the GT Strudel. Now, yeah, any queries or things which you have, you can always contact us by using this email ID, that is support@iges.in. So this is our dedicated email address for support. Any queries which is sent to you, so will be handled and also the solved, so within maybe 1 hour or 2 hours. And in case if we require more help or maybe inputs from your end, then we can discuss and explain you by taking the remote, or maybe if required, based on the location, we can visit your office also to solve the problems. Okay, so I hope you are already happy and quite comfortable with our support which you are doing. And also for our Middle East customers, you can contact us in the email ID, that is igfzco.com. That is again support@igfzco. So that is for our Middle East support. So we have two IDs basically. One is for our support@iges.in and as well support@igfz.co.com. So wherever you are in the world, so we are at your service always. So we can either do the support either through the phone or maybe the desktop sharing, which we can do it. Okay, and also always we are happy and satisfied with the support what we are doing, because our customers are satisfied and happy. That is why. Okay, so now any other questions which you'd like to ask before closing this session? Hello, Arif. And also Mr. Jayesh, yes, if you want a more detailed thing on this, yes, you can contact us through support. Okay, so where if required, we can show you the same thing in detail through maybe through our GoToAssist application, where we can take a what is it, remote access to your machine, and we can show that. So which is possible. Yes, we can do it. Video sessions will be uploaded, and also the email with the link will be sent to you shortly. Okay, and you can download that video, or even you can stream it and you can see the video online as well. Right? So any further questions? Yeah, okay. So thank you so much, and thank you for your patience and also the attention, and as well again one more thing, so thank you so much for your valuable time, and because this gives more interest for us to help you with some new topics, and also to give more information, to share more informations, to help you to do the work or maybe a job in a better way. Okay, so thank you so much. Always please keep in touch, and your the problem saving email ID is support@iges.in. Another one is support@igfzco.com. And one more thing I would like to mention here, we have a dedicated toll-free number also, so which is 1800-102 and 4437. So this is our toll-free number in India. So this number you can call, and also you can get our help in that. Okay, so thank you so much once again. So and we will meet you soon in the next Wednesday webinar. Thank you.